Hey everyone, welcome back to Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney Trilogy. And last time, we were continuing on with the Trials and Tribulations game, Episode 3, Recipe for Turnabout, and we were on the Part 1 last time, but now we're on the Part 2 Trial. So, we met up with Maggie Bird again, and she was working as a waitress at a restaurant, and someone ended up dying, possibly from poison and whatnot, and she is the only person they can find that could have done it. But she swears that there was someone else there at the table. And there seems to be a fake Phoenix Wright around somewhere. Because there was actually a fake Phoenix Wright that was doing her trial. And actually got her a guilty verdict. And I think we ended up seeing him at the park last episode. But anyways, let's go and continue on with the trial. Okay, January 7th, 9:48 a.m. Oh, I see. I guess I should have expected this. Nobody saw the other guy, huh? Nope. But it does look like the Phoenix Wright impersonator. But he was there when I took the coffee over, sir. Scout's honor. Maggie? Oh, Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe, yes. Are you doing alright? How are you feeling? As if you need to ask either question, sir. Don't let me get you down. Come on, Maggie. And don't forget to eat well, okay? Roger. And you! Oh, he's talking about me. Yes? You better square this case away. Got it, pal? Maggie's innocent, you hear? If you screw up, then I'll be doing some squaring away myself. Squaring away some paperwork for your arrest. Okay. I think he's serious. Hey, detective. You're on our side for once, right? Yep. So, you'll be able to help Maggie out, right? Really? Can you, sir? Oh. Of course. I've got the situation under control. I'm going to be the first witness on the stand today. If something I say doesn't mesh with the facts, make sure you point it out. All right, pal? Sure. Okay, we're forming a united front today, pal. You got me? So you get me, yeah. I can't tell you how grateful I am, sir. You know, I'm surprised she's not worried that we're the fake Phoenix Wright again. I always admired you so much, detective. I know I can count on you. Looks like it should all go pretty smoothly today. Oh, that's a red flag. That's a red flag. I can only wish. Okay, 10 a.m. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. Trial is ready. Oh, sorry, defense is ready, Your Honor. Ah, your first cup of coffee for this trial, hmm? Ah, bitter. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? Ah! What's wrong? Nothing. It's just whenever I addressed you in the previous trial, your response was, "You was talking to me? You was talking to me, pal?" It was a little, well, intimidating. No, that wasn't me. That was a phony Phoenix. I see. So our trusty Phoenix Wright is back with us now, is he? Trusty. So, Mr. Godot, your opening statement, please. Mr. Trite, whether you're fake or the real deal, we will be finding out soon today through this trial. But I can already tell you, I'm the real Phoenix Wright, I swear. Scout's honor. I wasn't questioning whether you are Phoenix Wright or not. I was questioning whether you had studied law or not. That's what I intend to find out. There's no denying it. I am a lawyer. Behind that mask is a man who really hates me, for some reason or another. As everyone is aware, the court has already given its verdict on this case once. Therefore, I won't stand for irrelevant testimony during this retrial. Nor will I stand for a simple repetition of the evidence presented in the last trial. But I was not there for that. I'm not planning on repeating anything that phony me said, trust me. Now then, Mr. Godot, please summon your first witness. Gumshoe looks so sad, look at him. Let's start with the formality, shall we? Name and occupation, please. Witness, state your name for the court. Uh-huh. Yeah, sorry, yes, sir. Name's Police Department Detective, occupation Detective Dick Gumshoe. That's a little backwards, but other way around, Detective. Huh? So sorry. Anyways, I'm the officer in charge of the case since yesterday, sir. Since yesterday? Yeah, the guy who was in on the initial investigation, tied up with another case now. I hope Gumshoe really got everything under control for everyone's sake. I see. So, Detective Gumshoe, would you outline for the court the basic facts of the case? Yes, sir. The victim's name is Glenn Elg. Okay, was a professional programmer. He was on the payroll of Blue Screens Inc., a local company. This was the victim's autopsy report. Okay. Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30. So an hour. Okay. Here are the floor plans of the restaurant. When the incident took place, the victim was sitting right here. The poisoned coffee was brought to him by the waitress. We don't know for sure. The waitress being the accused. Yeah. The victim died from poisoning almost immediately after he took a sip of coffee. At the time of the incident, there were 2 other people in the restaurant. Mr. John Armstrong, the chef, and a regular named Victor Kudo. Victor Kudo. It still seems to be a very straightforward case to me. Okay, the floor plan. Come, detective, take up this hammer and nail the defendant's coffin shut with your own 2 hands. Now then, Detective Gumshoe, let's have your testimony. Yes, sir. The incident. When the incident took place, the victim was alone at his table, sir. We understand that the guy was listening to a radio at the time. Traces of poison were found in his coffee cup, and what we found was potassium cyanide. That stuff really packs a punch. And it looks like Mrs. Beard might have had some kind of motive. Okay. Using the dark, aromatic depths of coffee to conceal the poison. Classy lady. I would say diabolical, but the facts of this case seem to be ironclad. Mr. Wright, I would ask you begin your cross-examination, but yes. Please, no intimidation tricks this time around. Is that understood? I already told you. That wasn't me. I wouldn't intimidate you. Okay, the incident. The victim was alone at the table. Are you sure about that? Can I stop you for just 1 minute? Huh? What is it? Did I say something that contradicts the evidence? He's so desperate for the truth, he's practically crying. Your testimony just now doesn't match the testimony given to us by the accused. She claims there was another man at the victim's table. Yeah, that's what she said, and Oh. What killer wouldn't say that when she faced a homicide conviction? Sadly, her testimony isn't supported by the owner or the other customer. Isn't that right, Detective Gumshoe? Yeah, it's true. Their 2 testimonies tie up on that. They both said there was no other guy at the table. Press harder. Well, maybe the other witnesses just missed him. Perhaps their view of the victim's table was obscured in some way. Ha! That argument is as weak as the coffee. Tris bien trite. What? I have here in my possession a ticket. A ticket? Okay. Yes. A one-way ticket to Guiltyville. Population of the defendant. Oh. This is a photograph taken from near the entrance to the kitchen. This is the scene as witnessed by the chef moments after the poison took place, correct? I think the court will agree that with such a view, the scene of the crime. How, Mr. Trike, could I have overlooked a second person at the table? How could anyone? Sorry. Yeah, that might have been hard. But at least we got the information. It certainly seems to show the victim's table extremely clearly. Yes, so now we have that. Okay, so we understand that the guy was listening to the radio. Huh, radio, you say? Yeah, he had a portable radio in his chest pocket. Maggie told us that too. Something about one of them had some sort of earpiece. Press. And what was the victim listening to? Huh? How should I know? Thanks there, Gumshoe. Thank you very much. This isn't going well. Detective, could you perhaps tell us about the poison? How it was used? Okay, traces of poison were found in the coffee cup. Not sure I get you, pal. Was the poison a liquid or a powder? If I had to put it in layman's terms, I'd say it was a powdery substance. So the poison could have been anything that was on the table. Sugar, salt, pepper. That's a good idea. He could have added the poison himself. Do you put salt or pepper in your coffee, Wright? The victim took his coffee black with no sugar. Oh. It seems that poison could not only have been in the coffee. Press harder. Are you absolutely certain the victim even drank any of his coffee? What do you mean? According to this file, the poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. What proof is there that the victim even drank any of it? Oh, hey, you're right. Oh. Ah, coffee. In case you were wondering, that last objection was for the detective there. Huh? What, me? Oh, hey, you're right. You may be fooling the court, but I'm not falling for it. If you have time to waste, you'll have time to present the piece of evidence. That piece, sir? Yes, that piece. What piece was it again? Don't try to play dumb. This! Oh, ow! That's probably hot. Should be grateful this coffee's only hot enough to give me first-degree burns. Yes. Yes, you should. Oh, now I remember. This victim's coffee cup. I see a lip mark on it. Yes. There is clearly a coffee stain on it. Conclusive proof that the victim did drink the poisoned coffee and was in this cup. The victim gulped it down. Oh. He really did drink that cup really fast. For the record, only prints on the cup were the victims and the defendants. Okay, cover with Maggie's fingerprints. Upon further inspection of this cup, we found a certain chemical substance. Potassium cyanide. Okay. I've heard of that chemical before. I have too, Mr. Wright. Exactly how strong is this poison, detective? Very deadly. Stuff's lethal. Come on. Eat too much and you're history. How much is too much? 0.2 grams. That's not about enough to finish anyone off. That's not much. How much is that? You know when you swab your ear for earwax? About that much. Sounds like something Gumshoe's got an abundance of. Such a small quantity of poison could have been concealed anywhere. Looks like she might have had a motive. What was the motive? But if you ask me, it's been blown way out of proportions. You know what my golden rule is, detective? Check out a bad cup of coffee, you can always get another. Huh? I don't get it. I am saying we can always get another witness on the stand if we have to check you out. Uh-oh. So stick to the facts, detective. Now then, what was her motive? She was... They said she wanted to steal a lottery ticket. I knew it. It disappeared from the scene of the crime. And it wasn't just any lottery ticket. It was a winning ticket for $500,000. I can see her doing that. Yeah. No, kidding. Mr. Armstrong knew about the ticket too, didn't he? But he stole the wrong one. Then is it possible Maggie stole the winning one? What should I do? Should I press on this point? Press harder. Might as well. Wait a minute. The mere fact that the lottery ticket disappeared is in no way implicates my client. Ha! I have here in my hand the very ticket in question. The $500,000 ticket? One of the female police officers found it when she was conducting a search of the defendant. They found it on her? What was she doing? What? Okay, this does not look good. No, no bueno. Order. She's quite a lucky bird, or a little waitress. We will submit that ticket as evidence to the court immediately. The judge wants it. Better keep an eye on that ticket, the way the judge's voice is quivering. This ticket was presented to the court in the previous trial too, but it feels heavier now. $500,000, you say? Just a scrap of paper. What matters is where it was found, Your Honor. That's enough. The facts of this case seem overwhelmingly clear to me. The defendant had ample opportunity to commit the crime in which she was charged. Furthermore, it seems beyond reasonable doubt that she did indeed commit the crime. I like an old man who knows the score. There is also the matter of the $500,000 lottery ticket. That alone provides a very credible motive. I mean, for that sum of money, even I might be tempted to bend the rules. Judge? I don't mind an old man who is weak to the siren call of money. Not good, Nick. Evidence is against Maggie. It's starting to pile up fast. That's because the court has ruled guilty once already. I'd say it's about time to wrap up this repeat performance with one final decisive piece of evidence. He's got more evidence? This is the apron she was wearing. It's not the cleanest apron. Yeah, it's got like coffee stains, possibly ketchup stains, maybe blood stain. I don't know. That stain, it can't be blood? No. It seems the star of our play was a little flustered and somehow spilled coffee on herself. That's not exactly the first thing that caught my eye. Of course, the coffee stain isn't the most interesting thing on the apron. There's something else that stands out even more. The pockets. Okay, the pocket. A search carried out right after the incident uncovered this. Are you serious? Potassium cyanide, the very poison used by the killer, was in her pocket. Oh, a bottle of poison in Maggie's pocket and a lottery ticket. Yeah, and Maggie's prints were the only ones on it. You know, this is pretty cut and dry, I think. Yep. Order in order. The court will accept these items into evidence. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Godot. Why have you not explained the bloodstain? Bloodstain? What bloodstain? Don't play games, prosecutor. The blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron. That's ridiculous. No one told me anything about a bloodstain. You don't need to be told. Well, detective, could this really be blood? No way, sir. That's just ketchup, sir. Ketchup? She must have gotten some on her apron while taking someone their breakfast that day. You could have spoken up a little sooner, Detective Gumshoe. Play a stunt like that again and I'll have you drink 17 cups of ketchup, witness. I thought everyone knew that it was already... Oh. Huh. Haven't seen anything yet to make me doubt the last ruling I made on this case. The motive, the opportunity, and the supporting evidence. They have all clearly been established. Well, Trite, it seems you really are a phony after all. You really know how to drive a man nuts. Witness, please continue the testimony. Describe the court, the crime scene. Well, okay. Crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. by a kind of scary old man, sir. Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must have been a real tough for her. The victim didn't have any identification on him, but we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then investigation went smoothly. Maggie was searched. We found the lottery ticket and the bottle of poison, and that was it. There was nothing else missing from the crime scene. Are you sure about that? Huh. You identified the victim and secured your prime suspect. Very good. Last chance to convince the court. You're a real lawyer, trite. Don't count on any more cross-examination after this one. So let the fun begin. Okay. A scary old man. Old man who's a regular at the restaurant where the incident happened. Okay, Kudo. Mr. Kudo. Officers were dispatched right after the report came in, but the old guy still made a fuss. What took you so long? You hurled abuse at them and seeds. Seeds? It was nothing. I caught each one with my teeth. Don't lie. Don't lie, Godot. The old man was the only other customer in the place at the time. He took his time finding a payphone apparently, so he was late reporting the crime. Poor Maggie had passed out. It must have been real tough for her. How long was the defendant unconscious for? Officers got to the scene at 2:40. Maggie was still out cold in the kitchen at the time. It took another 10 minutes or so before she came to. I would have liked to have been on the scene myself. I bet you would have liked to have carried out the search too. I would have loved to see Maggie asleep like that, all pretty and peaceful. Ah, Gumshoe. You're a professional detective, come on. Save the romantics for your own time, detective. All we need to know is about the investigation. Oops, I guess I'm pretty red right now, aren't I? No, you actually weren't. Victim didn't have any identification on him. He didn't. Are you saying that it was stolen then? No, I don't think so. Victim didn't have any driver's license or even a credit card on him. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet. 58 cents. That's an exact number. Yeah, I can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal. Oh, poor Gumshoe. Victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man. Or some kind of outlaw. Why not give him a bit of an edge? I think I'm onto something here. But we figured out who he was pretty quick, and then the investigation went smoothly. What? Did I say something dumb again? Let me paraphrase, but you just testified to the court. The victim didn't have anything form of ID on him. Yes? Yeah, basically. In that case, how did you identify the victim? Oh, that. He's let down. He's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes thing going. There was a prescription bag on the victim's table, along with the lottery tickets. Ah, visiting the doctor before he went to Trace BN. We got the victim's name from the medical record, the docs who prescribed them. That's a reliable enough source for the court. Ask about the prescription bag. What was in it? Well, actually, the bag was empty. Yeah, completely empty. That is very suspicious. Ha! Okay. You're entering an empty paper bag. That's plastic, sorry. As evidence, despite... Oh. Now, what happened with the investigation after that? When Maggie was searched, we found the lottery ticket and poison. But the defendant had been passed out for a while, correct? In that case, isn't it possible someone planted the evidence in her pocket? Yeah! You nailed it, pal. Happens to me all the time. That people put stuff in your pockets? I had a department party the other day, and when I got home, I was wearing the boss's shoes. Okay. Keep up this crazy testimony, detective, and those shoes will end up down your throat. Sorry. So try it. Someone planted the evidence in her pocket. That's a pretty bold statement. Care to back it with evidence? Well, I'd love to if I had any. Yeah, I don't have any evidence. Appears you have no evidence to support your theory, Mr. Wright. Continue with your testimony. And that was it? There was nothing else missing for the crime. How do you know for sure? So, the $500,000 lottery ticket and the bottle of poison were accounted for. Yeah. Interesting. It's true that those 2 items were accounted for. But wasn't there another lottery ticket that was stolen that day? Oh yeah? The one that the restaurant owner took. He won a whole $1 with it. What a lucky guy, huh? They're just gonna let him get away with it? I guess it was just $1 and the guy's dead, but... It was just $1. I guess no one cares when it's that little, except for Gumshoe. If I don't find a hole in this testimony, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. Gumshoe isn't giving us anything to work with. We can't find any contradictions. That's true. But Maggie and Gumshoe are like Dumb and Dumber? Oh. The only hope is that they were so dumb they missed something obvious. Come on, Gumshoe. Be the dumbest you've ever been. Okay, so they said nothing else is missing, but there was an empty prescription bag. So why don't we go ahead and show you that? Yes, present. Good, okay. So that's the right thing. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There was just one small contradiction. Oh, finally. I'm getting all anxious just waiting. So hurry up and will you? You testified that there was nothing else missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine that was at the scene of the crime? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Trace Bien. Where then did the medicine disappear to? You are too cool, pal. Oh. Indeed, due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence? I guess that's the most careless thing I've done so far, huh? The victim was killed by poison. The victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself. Okay. Is there any medical condition that you need potassium cyanide for? I don't know. Order. Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say? Huh. That's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name? New Air Urological Clinic. Okay. What kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot? Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say. War wound? The day before the incident, he found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. Okay. And what on earth was the prescription he was given? It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? It's mentioned in the autopsy report. If you read fine print, they found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear. Here it is, a very fine print. Seems he correctly applied some of the medication while he was at Trace Bien. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe that he would have eaten his medication. It seems the medication is irrelevant to the case after all. No, Nick. If you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over. She's right, okay. Push the medication issue. There's got to be something to do with it. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems he correctly applied some of the medication while he was at Trace Bien. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime? But the medication in question was topical use inside the ear canal. That doesn't change the fact that it could not have been found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth. You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide, but what if it did? You never know. Hardly seems likely the coffee the waitress served could contain it either. But it did. The possibility is undeniable. That's enough? Mr. Godot, Is the detective only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godot? I've got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there at the restaurant the day of the murder. Victor Kudo, the pigeon hater. Yes, very well. The matter of disappearing medication seems a little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial. That is something that bothers me. Good job, Nick. Court will adjourn for a 10-minute recess, after which we will hear the prosecution's next witness. Ha! I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups. Court is adjourned for recess. Phew. That was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there. That's my line. No, that's my line. I think I really did die a little bit. Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that? Huh? He said he'd help me, but he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that. He was just answering questions. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right? It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But I really hurt this time. Felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't want to ever see him again. Oh, poor Gumshoe. So the next witness is going to be the old guy from the park, right? Mr. Kudo, lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds. I bet he's going to be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know. Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me, even those never-ending bird seeds. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please. Prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Did you have to bring the seeds in here? Name and occupation, if you don't mind. Name's Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty or make me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times, too. We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation. My occupation? Ha! Listen, young'un. How much call do you think there is for kimono embroidery here? Kimono embroidery? That's what I do, or did, back in Japan. I embroidered family crests or kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed. A real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Maybe we could get him to embroider my costume sometime. Anyways, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. Yeah. Now the witness. Were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident? Yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of coffee, okay. Seeds. What do you think these are, I see. So you saw everything that happened, Gramps. Did I? Oh, yes, I did. I saw it all. And please tell the court. We're all ears. Sure. I'll tell you. Every last detail. He's getting into this. The young man was reading the sports paper. The servant girl brought him the coffee, but she put something in it. The man took one sip, looked like he was in terrible pain, then collapsed. That's the servant girl right there, the defendant's chair. I remember her well. He only saw her from behind, from the picture we saw. Mr. Kudo, she is not a servant girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. Ha! You're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with the old-fashioned ones, huh? Newfangled? All this talk of radios and glasses, it's wireless and spectacles, I tell you. Excuse me. Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Well, I think it's time to begin to cross-examine the witness. Yes, Your Honor. Okay. What I witnessed. Young man was reading the sports paper. Okay. So you saw the victim then? I wanted to know if Guts and Braun retained his championship or not. At the location in question, there are partitions between the tables on the same side as the restaurant, right? So what if there are? If you say that you could see the victim, that means you were sitting at the table on the other side of the restaurant, correct? Ha! I go to the place to drink. Oh, I don't go to sit. I don't remember which table I was sitting at. You mean you go there to eye the waitress, right? Servant girl brought me my coffee. She put some... Oh, brought him the coffee, but she put something into it. That is a very grave accusation. Are you sure that's what you saw? Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I. I think that's switched around. I see. My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I only need spectacles for reading and driving. I bet his eyes are only as really fine when he's scoping out the waitresses. And I saw what the servant girl put into the coffee as well. Okay, press harder. Your Honor, we need more clarification of what was put into the coffee. I'd like to ask that the witness add that to his testimony. I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure. There's no question about it. She is very conspicuously putting some white powder in it. Did she really put that into the coffee? You doubt me, boy? She took some out of the small brown bottle and sprinkled it in. Sugar in a small brown bottle like that? Like that. Witness, could you please describe the bottle in more concrete terms? Ha! A bottle like this, perhaps? Oh, there it is. That's a one. That's a bottle with the potassium cyanide, I presume. So what did the accused put into the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you? Man took one sip, looked pained, and then collapsed. Took just one sip. The young'uns, you waste everything. They cost $8, those coffees. In the good old days, we would have drank every last drop, eaten the cup, and then died. Congratulations, you have earned the title battiest man to grace a courtroom. So it was immediate death. Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that it is possible. Oh, yes, he slumped over without so much as a twitch. I felt the coffee I just drank turn sour in my stomach. Yes, I had the feeling. I know the feeling. The witness, I presume she is... That's the servant girl right there. You said I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular feature that you can identify? It's a disgrace. That's what it is. You can see all the way up her, you know. She's practically naked in that uniform. So the features you recognize about the waitress is her outfit. But anyone could be wearing such an outfit. Mr. Wright, please spare the court any further mental anguish from that image. Don't get all excited, Nick. You've got to keep yourself together. There's other things I recognize about her, too. Okay. Press harder. What are these other things? What matters is whether the waitress was Maggie or not. Mr. Kudo, these other features you recognize, well, I would like to add them to your testimony. A ribbon in her hair, her apron straps were loose. That's it. You do seem to remember several details about her appearance, but what about the most crucial detail of all, her face? Ha! As if I could remember that. Okay. Witness noticed the straps on the accused apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right. I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red. See, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. Huh. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? What would be the most interesting, the straps or her back? Straps don't really mean anything, right? Let's ask about the waitress's back. Okay. So what? Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all? Objection. He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asking about to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons. This is harassment! I tell you I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I'm just telling you what I saw. Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features you observed from the front that is to your testimony. The old man's testimony is getting longer and longer and longer. And if I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. There wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. Okay. Didn't find anything to be distinct. But you did clearly see the witness's face. No question about it. I didn't come this far to back down. Victor Kudo never backs down. This has turned into a matter of pride for the old CD now. I wonder if he really did see Maggie's face or not. Proof the old guy didn't see the waitress clearly from the front. Do you think old CD really saw Maggie? He probably had an eye on the waitress the whole time. That's why he was there. But he was there for the cute outfits, right? Not the waitress. Did I say something clever? I wonder if the waitress Mr. Kudo really was Maggie. That's what I have to figure out. Okay, so we're back to the beginning now. So, was there anything that caught your interest about her front? I want to... Yes, this. So, the apron. He did not notice the big stains on the apron. They seem to be pretty noticeable. Like, even if the coffee stain wasn't there, the ketchup one would definitely be there. Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this. Ha! That filthy thing would suit filth like this perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I haven't. Do you think I forget something as dirty as that? No, I don't think you would. Well, you half-witted clot. What? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there has been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. As you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means, if you had really seen this apron before... Yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Oops. Oops. A witness. You can't just say oops way out of this. Come on. You can't oops your way out of it. Well, well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, trite. Here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Mrs. Maggie Bird. Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison in the coffee cup, this old guy's watching. Hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say and what you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion when I forgot what burger a customer wanted. He can't remember. Probably more like he messed up so many times he blocked it out. Very well. Let's test just how good your memory and attention are. Tell us what you remember about the victim. It was another of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand. The noisy brat kept rustling the pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. Then the servant girl in question brought over the coffee. The little fidget picked up the coffee in his free hand and took a sip. Testimony we have just heard was to test how the credibility of the witness's memory is. Seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great detail. Yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything. How are we going to handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. Prove the old man's memory is shot. Okay. So, there is one that I do want to question. So, he picked up the coffee with his free hand and took a sip. Okay. Let's present the coffee cup. Because the way it looks, he says left hand, correct? It's free hand. So I'm pretty sure it was his left hand he's talking about. This would have been picked up with the right hand. Let's present. Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of the testimony? Way of testing your credibility and memory. I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory. I tell you nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song. You're going to be singing. Care to tell us where this is going, Trite? According to the Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, yes, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would be his left. Ha! What is this, kindergarten? But the court would please take a look at this. The cup, yes. The mark left by the victim's lips. Yes, there's a stain left by the coffee. If you consider where the stain is, you clearly see that the victim was holding the cup with his right hand. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song. Ah! I'm interested to see what the pigeon song is. I'm afraid this simply is not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park. Oh, wait. What? If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about the dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. You still insist on this testimony. That young brat was holding a cup in his left hand. Ah, yes, no question. I'm good, law-abiding citizen, I am. It's that dead, young, hot bod in you spiky-haired yahoo who are at fault. Spiky-haired yahoo? Me? Thank you, old man. I've heard quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but... Sure, why not hear a little bit more? Mr. Godot? Okay. But this is the 16th cup of coffee. So this is your final stand. Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. Okay. Left hand or right hand? Boy is wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens in his specs. I kept fiddling with it. Oh, he kept fiddling with it all the time. Just before he picked up the cup, too. Then he used the same hand to pick up the cup. His left hand. We know the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor, often used by programmers. A monitor? You mean like a television screen? Okay. The inside of the lens is a screen that displays a computer data. It's called HMD, a common tool in the victim's line of work. HD, TV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me the mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw, and I'm telling the truth. It's true. He doesn't seem to be lying. Those are the facts. A good old black and white. Okay. Let's present the profile for the guy. Over his left eye, his left eardrum was ruptured. I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observation. What? You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as his HDM. His left eardrum was ruptured, so he wouldn't be wearing it there. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. I could only see that side of his head from where I was sitting. I don't think so. What do you say? There's no doubt unaware of the facts, Mr. Kudo, but the victim couldn't hear anything from his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured. Ah. Traces of medication from his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right, it's impossible for the victim to be wearing his earpiece in his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear. Is that true, Captain? It is. Pigeon! Pretty pigeon. Order. The witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the witness from behind. He claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when he knows his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot, a single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk. Captain? Are you calling me a drip? This is the victim's cup of coffee in which the potassium cyanide was found. Mark on the rim clearly shows the victim picked it up with his right hand. I'll never back down, I know I'm right. The lad drank the coffee with his left hand. Let me put this up for you clearly, okay? The victim uses both hands. He took a sip with the cup, held in his right hand, and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw. Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee. Which hand the victim used to pick up his coffee is irrelevant, Your Honor. The fact still stands with one hand or the other. He drank the poisoned coffee. Like this. Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the result is clear. Testimony given by this witness is useless. I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce. Do you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old foggy. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo. You can't reach me from there. I'm worried the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. The court is adjourned. Hold it? Who said hold it? Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me? Leave you, Mr. Kudo. Thanks to the blue-suited young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now? How's your memory? My fault. I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but is there something I can do? I've kept my mouth shut until now, but there is something else the court should know. What? There's more? Be perfectly honest, I might not be anything. But I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark. Me? Why me? Well, everyone, what do you say? One final showdown. The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook. Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup. What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the coffee you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Mr. Kudo is still a man. That's enough, witness. I believe it'll be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony. You bet. Much, much quicker. I can't believe this is happening. Haha! You better be ready, youngster. I get the picture. I get the picture. Just quit throwing seeds at me. Okay, the final showdown. First of all, I wanted to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure myself. The young boy slumped over his table as soon as he took one sip of his coffee. The clumsy idiot upset the vase he knocked over. It broke and a strip of cloth covered the table, got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turns things upside down, huh? There was never a vase that we know of, right? Is that all? Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. You doubting me again? You're doubting a poor, defenseless old man? No, we're not doubting you, Mr. Kudo, no. Don't you get a feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah, so what? Probably. That's all I can think of. I have to cross-examine this guy. Okay. You're a bird brain. That's why that's all you can think of. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your final cross-examination, please. Okay, we'll question him on this stuff. We'll make him feel good. The court generally prefers its witnesses are sure of themselves, Mr. Kudo. Nosy brat, I'm warning you. I'm more savage than a macho man right now. You won't beat me with the testimony. This is final battle. Ow, ow. He's chucking those seeds harder than ever. Careful, Nick. Nail him. Okay, he slumped over after a single sip of coffee. Already heard that. I know. Okay. How else am I supposed to build suspense? Okay, so he slumped over. He upset a vase and knocked it over. A vase, you say? There are vases all over the tables in that place. There are accidents waiting to happen. They're practically begging to be knocked over. And you saw the moment when the victim knocked over the vase. Bit hard to say. Okay, I get it. I heard it break, and the side of it burned into my memory as clear as day. It wasn't broken on the table, though. It broke in a strip of... But it wasn't broke. Where's that crime scene photo? There. Mr. Kudo, this is the photograph of the crime scene. Huh? So what? Look carefully at the table. The vase is there. Intact. Huh? Lost your tongue, Granddad? I'm not Granddad of yours, hopscotch. Ow, 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 ow. Enough. If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be here all night. What is it now? I just remembered something. Yes? Go on. The broken vase. Ha! It was on my table. Huh? Oh, well, you see. It startled me when that young man collapsed. So I stood up. Must have been my vase that fell over. The vase on your table. Ha ha. Yeah, it was on my table. That's how my groin can be completely soaked. This guy. That was his final chance. He tried. And Godot doesn't have any coffee for this. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You certainly earned your kudos for today. I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all? Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo. Yes. Wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Ah, yes, I remember something else. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom and make sure he does the pigeon song. Wait, listen to me. And he's gone. Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked today. I'm still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are two dispatcheries in the testimony we have heard thus far. Disparities. The mark on the coffee cup was supposedly drank from his left hand. The earpiece, which was also said to be inside his left ear, out of which he couldn't hear. I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts. Yes, Your Honor. There's one more thing before I call today's session to an end. One more? The witness you just heard from today, he is most insistent that you use his testimony, that his testimony should be used. So he summarized it according to this statement. Okay. You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Prosecution doesn't need props like that. God's really mad, huh? I would be too. Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Godot's. Yes, Your Honor. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. This isn't a piece of testimony, more like a 5-year-old's apology. What are you supposed to do with 3 copies? Exactly. That is all. This court is adjourned. To be continued. Well. So. That was a good start. Okay. We didn't quite get the not guilty verdict we want. We have not got any verdict at all, which is a good thing, I guess, so far. But we did figure out that something is up with the guy with the HMD or whatever, the computer monitor screen over his eye. Because apparently he was using his left hand for picking up the coffee, but the lip mark was on the right side. He also apparently had his headphone on his left side, which I almost feel like the old man was just seeing things. But maybe he was right. Maybe the old man was right. Who knows? Weirder things have happened. But anyways, we still have not figured out where the phony Phoenix Wright comes into it, because Maggie said that there was another guy there and it looked like the phony Phoenix Wright. So we don't know how he comes into it. But anyways, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time when we continue on. So, bye-bye.